And Q camera B, public address.
Audio feed up, VPPA.
And 3, 2, 1, switch.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Americans, shareholders and lovers of freedom.
Switch to line B, patch B.
Okay, take it away, compadre.
We are sorry to interrupt your regular programming,
Give it a hell, sexy.
Speak softly, carry a big dick.
but we
It's
do
called
have
diplomacy.
incredible reports of an insurgency movement which is now taken root on American soil. The enemy is among us, is among you. The enemy without, the enemy within. The enemy foreign, and the enemy domestic. Terrorists, the insurgents, what is it they want? I believe in the good heart of the American people. We are a kind people. We're a generous people. We are also a strong people.
Okay.
It's going to be a tough people. You bet there are going to be sacrifices. Sacrifices that will be painful sacrifices for the American people. But no one ever said democracy was easy. We have enemies who will stop at nothing. And we have to be realistic about that. It's important to identify the enemy within, the enemy without. If that means, as far as the new RDIF programs, the so-called Operation Barcode, as the press has dubbed this, so be it. Sure, we've got enemies. On the other hand, there's no safe haven out there. So I would be afraid. I would be very afraid.
Now there's a domestic policy.
Look at this guy.
But as long as there are hard-working people, play by the rules people,
Kind of makes you proud, don't it?
family value,
God, pain. Fucking famished.
rule of law,
Time for my
and guess I
daily dose of mercury.
think this involves family values. You can
You want some?
No thanks.
fashioned. I mean, you
I don't know how you eat that shit.
that
It's healthy, man. It's a fucking righteous fillet of fish.
human happiness.
Radioactive.
I got needs, man. Heavy metal needs. And that tangy tartar sauce just sets it off. Seriously, you want some?
Find the
Very
balance.
funny.
Technology is our friend, and freedom is the winner.
Not to mention overfished
I think as long as there is a clear understanding.
to the brink of extinction.
It's farm grown, you dumb son of a bitch.
Pop, mom
Just
and
as
pop
bad.
showdown,
The renewable resource.
corner,
Maybe worse.
history,
Relax, Joe.
battle for freedom.
We're all renewable.
Yeah, I keep dreaming.
United States of
And
America.
chroma, key, BG, and switch.
Roger.
I say to the liberal elite, our message is clear. Enjoy your red wine. Enjoy your joie de vivre. But we live in the real world. We all need to be able to look moral ambiguity straight in the eye and face it down.
Unbelievable.
Unbearable.
Richard III, that marvelous king, on the eve of his catastrophic defeat in the fields of Bosworth, summed it up best when he said, "Shall these enjoy our lands, lie with our wives, ravish our daughters? Conscience is but a word that cowards use, devised at first to keep the strong in awe. Our strong arms be our conscience, our swords, our law.
Look at this clown. He's got no shame.
March on, join bravely, let us to it pell-mell. If not to heaven, then hand in hand to hell.
Black fucking magic, amigo. We gotta fight this shit. We gotta be smart. Dolly in the KGs.
Roger.
And A-line feeds back to Patch Bay.
Well, there's a story I like to tell. When I was a boy growing up in Wyoming, we didn't have much money. The television was in the basement, and in those days, you didn't have a remote. Remotes didn't exist. If you wanted to change the channel, then you got up and you changed the channel. And because I was the youngest of 4 boys, I was the remote. What this taught me was, technology isn't a bad thing. We had more control over the technology with the remote than without. Technology can be a friend. Technology can save us time. Technology can give us choices. And those choices, all 140 channels, and all 32 flavors, that's a part of the American dream too.
This guy's an asshole.
Big time.
We hold the remote, my friends. We hold the remote. Technology is our friend, and freedom is the winner. We had a kerosene refrigerator in those days, and I used to watch that kerosene flame, and I couldn't figure out as a boy, I didn't know the science, how that flame could be freezing that meat. I thought about that and thought about that.
This makes no fucking sense at all.
It's
Some
certainly
piece of work.
that you can generate heat and still freeze the meat. But the big thing that I learned in Wyoming, because it was cowboy. This was cowboy country. Because I wasn't strong. I wasn't much of a cowboy. And what I learned was, it didn't really matter what you say, as long as you could keep the spiel on the road, whether or not you were making sense. That could pretty much dictate any situation. This was a survival tactic for growing up in a small town in Wyoming, surrounded by farmers and ranchers, people who I respect, people who, my father was one of them. We grew up, we had chores as kids.
Watch this.
We knew hard times.
Relay up the
We
big
knew what it
format.
was to get up
And
at 5:30 in the morning,
audio DP.
feed the chickens, clear the stalls,
1.
gather the eggs. Sure, I've heard that we're just simple folk in that respect. Oh, simple folk, but
Think he'll notice?
Oh, he'll notice. He's a pro, man.
I suggest my opponents spend some time with some of those simple folk,
You.
because I think they have a lot to teach.
There is no opponent.
Plantation of
Careful, man. You don't know dick.
gathering information. Let's be frank. I simply cannot allow my opponent to characterize my positions in this way. What that information is to be used for is what's critical here. I think history speaks for itself, that self-interest and the interest of the common good are far from being contradictory, as my opponent suggests. They are linked, they are compatible, they are working together.
Ay, caramba, the cucaracha.
Oh, he's relentless, resourceful.
The President realizes this, and I think our shareholders realize this as well.
I've been bit. I've been burned.
Disciplined, on message.
Vigilant.
Adaptable.
Pest resistant and dignified too.
That's why he's making the big bucks, bro.
You know, when I was a small boy, growing up in the plains of above Wyoming. It was farming country, poor farming country, and ranchers.
No, not that cowboy shtick. I can't take it. Not Wyoming again.
Unfucking bearable.
I wasn't much of a cowboy. So I learned early on
Pre-roll
As
Jakes,
long as you can
pay
keep-
feed to Patch Bay.
Standing
the
by.
flow going and sound
And
serious.
3, 2,
yes, I do.
1.
Lock and load.
Teleprompters to BG Crossfade to Presscon Stuck.
Whoa, you bet.
Cue questions and switch and bait.
Uh-oh, trouble, trouble.
And switch.
What the hell?
Oh no.
Sir, you seem to be speaking in riddles. Red wine and remotes and freezing the meat and the like. Could you comment further on this? No, I don't think it's a riddle. I think these happen with a reason. I think that things always happen for a reason.
Be online and we're home.
Yes, sir. Do you think the human race has much of a future? No, I do not. As a matter of fact, I strongly disagree with my opponent on that. We will be superseded just as surely and swiftly as we superseded Homo neanderthal. This transition is already well underway. Our job is to give it meaning. And that's what we do.
He's good though.
Does that mean you're working for big media? No, I didn't say that, and if you choose to characterize it as that, I object. It's a convenient device whereby to put me in a box.
Whoa, he's good.
They think we're stupid. And that suits us just fine.
Fuck, he can't be beat.
We want them to think that.
He's a master, man. A bottomless pit.
I understand the concerns of the American people.
Fucking actor, the real deal.
I believe in
But
you.
who's he fooling, man?
I think we all
Sucker
do.
born every minute. It's showbiz
You've
wisdom.
got nuclear
Yeah, but this guy crosses the line, even for a regular Joe like me.
out there in the hands of these rogue states. But we're at war. And I think that in terms of the sacrifices that must be made, and that will be made, terrorists, the insurgents,
All right. That's it.
I think as long
Cue
as
sitcom track. Line
I
A.
understand.
Roger.
Think of him as a worthy opponent, Joe.
And 3, 2, 1, switch.
On their behalf as well.
Flatten AD feed. Come on, cowboy. And feather in BG. Let's see what you got. And Q bomb. Whoa, your hair, sir, your hair.
Excuse me.
Look at him go.
Watch out.
Loop, lock, and load.
I believe in the American
Just good old Joe pushing the buttons.
family value,
Like always, making it happen, that's all.
More gain.
rule of law.
Roger. Old Joe,
we
last
all
one
do.
out of the sinking ship, you'd like to think.
What the hell's going on? Sorry, we seem to be having some technical difficulties.
And cut to B. I'll show you technical difficulties.
First of all, I'd like to thank our hosts, Etna and myself and my beautiful daughters. God, how they've grown.
Bottomless pit, senor.
Wrong speech.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Easy, easy.
Okay, that's it. Cut, cut. That's it. Cut.
Look out, fella.
Turn the goddamn camera off. Get this goddamn mic. Who the hell's responsible for this? Who the hell's responsible? responsible for this. I want a goddamn explanation.